Hello, hello. Welcome again to Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are here to see the identity, the waxwork of the professor in this curtain through those heavy curtains at last. Ladies and gentlemen. What? They didn't even bother? I thought it was the moment of truth. Buddy, what shit we had to pay? Doesn't seem to rise somehow that Mr. Shields leaped the money into his own pocket, does it? Well, no. It's not his, he doesn't own it, so... Ah, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us. This is her special skill. That's interesting, thanks. Big party police officer and diggling detective. This is what makes Britain great. What makes Britain great? Not to mention, demigod prosecutor, taking the law into their own hands, or chipping loving inspectors, or a chippy loving inspector. You should say a demigod drinking alcoholic wine. I don't know. Inspector Gregson summed up rather well in that list, I think. Animation? Madame Tuspalek's special exhibit. What the actual fuck? The cliffhanger is... Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, I feel a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walk in here. Miss Usato! Say we turn our heels and go straight home via a really big confectionery. We certainly can't do that. We pay 5 shillings already. True. True. That's creepy as hell. Actually, now I'm looking at the label more closely. That bloody head is missing! We pay good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. And never the great diggly detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. That's been what Mr. Jones meant when he said the case was largely solved. Be that it may? Mr. Jones heavily implied there's been a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? You mean this guy? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get what we pay for. Is that fear of frustration? Was making Susato's voice tremble. I don't understand it. This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so, according to what Madame Taspal said. He killed 5 victims over noble royal blood. Waxwork is so... it is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. A strong feeling that they never captured the Professor. I know it looks like a cool star movie until any moment, doesn't it? If only had I had that is. Perhaps we should examine it a little more detail. Little more detail. So this is the condemned man. Well, yes, the so-called Professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine? But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mr. Sato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. Some metal fitting for it, you see? Then perhaps Mr. Shoma absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it? That's extremely absent-minded detective you are describing, isn't it? Perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. And that will be extremely absent-minded thief. Would there have been more reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something called inside the convict jacket. Here. Here? Oh, it looks like a piece of broken glass. Quite a big piece, too. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than a normal window, please. Huh. Huh? I see. Where could that such thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? A glass house, goddammit. So it must have been made of thick creasing strained. But why? Well, perhaps... because the glass had a particularly wide area, such as a big building, for example. We've been seeing a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken too. You don't mean... Exactly, the crystal tower at the great... Yeah, exactly. But why will a glass from the crystal tower be locked inside the waxwork jacket? Maybe you look like Osmond, you know? It makes you think, doesn't it? The piece of a broken glass has been entered the court record. Early in court, we established that the kindness experiment was a trick. Now we discovered this fragment of a glass here in this waxwork. Just coincidence? Nothing else? It appears no. No? Let me see this one. It is part of exhibit, just similar as the rest. Looks so real. Yeah, a young man in a white overcoat. He has a large shovel in his hand too, look. Perhaps we should investigate a little more in more detail. Can we see the face? We cannot look at the face? Really? You're kidding me? You cannot look at the fucking face? Oh, there he is. I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh, you think you should be manhandling the exhibit, Mr. Naruhodo? Put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. Jesus Christ, sounds horrible. Horribly. Ah! What on the earth? How can... I don't believe it! A black monocle! Mr. Naruhodo, it is possible that this man is... Yes! Our fellow criminal here, when he was young. And look at the rapper! The color of his hair is different. It's mistakenly him. Indeed it is. Sholmes? Sir Sholmes! He's man. It's the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? What he's doing here? And why does the company behind me have no head? The head was missing the model. The head was missing when the model was returned, but it was still it. A surprise. So then, the case isn't yet solved, isn't it? I will say so myself, largely solved. Were my words, I believe. I must locate the missing head of the suit. As a man, I will say, I'm in grave trouble. Very hungry, I just await my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ah. Oh, do you think? So, there's a high chance that this guy stole his head. So in order to make a mask, a wax mask. Do you know though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the display in the House of Horrors are supposed to be real events, are they not? Indeed, they are, Mr. Sato. Do go on. And terrifying as they are, the scene in the other exhibit are believable, but this one is absurd. It surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? Let me guess, they killed the bloody bastard, but the tumor was disturbed, but the body's missing. I think it's time I educate you a little. About the nature of the incident involved with the professor 10 years ago. Shovel. This part of X is just dissimilar, the rest looks so real. Seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. Yeah. There's a lot of shoving he has, look. Perhaps... Yeah. Wanted to examine the photograph. What is this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. Camera? But it's so small. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, that's about Sholmes' skin prints. I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes Venture as an exception to rules. For the plot! Anyway, why would the man be in graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. I'll just borrow this for a little while, I think. What? Really? Camera from around then I was wondering what. An actual camera? By looking at the photographic plates inside the camera, you can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? The previous guys created a special emotion. Special motion that the reactor light coming through the slants. So it's an actual camera. If we open the cover of the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see it yourself, Sato. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Shovel? Shovel. What a large shovel. He's holding rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was a man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night? Mr. Sato, yeah? That's a spade, isn't it? A spade? No, it's a shovel. No. Shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. We have been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel. No. Although, we haven't considered trowels. What? We allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing with the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. There it is. Oh, we can examine it. Oh, look! The cover came up! Oh, yes, now there should be a glass plate inside. Oh, it's empty. Let's change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see. It's empty. Is something wrong? There's no plate. It's been removed. Ah, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, it will make the actual camera. Wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. We never have a photographic print that executed the convict and coming back to life anyway. Oh yes, you're quite right, of course. What's the sad son? She looks so devastated. I was hoping. To find something. Okay, that's worrisome. What a wonderful machine. You really love contraption like this, don't you? Oh yes, anything mechanical I found absolutely irresistible. Almost irresistible, surely. Well, whenever I see pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. Simply have to take it apart. That's boring. Yes, father tells the time by the rumblings of his stomach now, so I'm giving up having a watch. Poor Professor Mikado. So we're gonna ignore the smudge of blood? Look, Mr. Naruhodo, what is it? The blow's just here. There seems some very dull red stains. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually. Oh my! I'm sure that's what you're now thinking. It's actual blood, isn't it? Oh, shame it was empty. Anyway, that helps a bit. I don't know when or where. I guess it helps. The resurrecting convict. But I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound that had their throats ripped from their bodies. Throats? Jesus. Oh my gosh, an enormous hound. How awful. Hound of basketball. After taking the life of his 50th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand accordingly. The professor was tried in a closed court, no members of the public were permitted. Closed court? So you mean the professor's identity? As you summarized, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty, and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Longate Cemetery, which joins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. The body disappeared, let me guess. The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlight graveyard. The exhibit here depicts the very scene as described by the sole witness without chilling events. There was a witness? Oh, but of course, my dear fellow, was none other than young man in the white overcoat, an old stripper. That gave me like a backlash, I don't know. Young witness. So this is waxwork model of Enoch Trapper. 10 years ago, the convict professor, having been gibbet and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that imaginable scene was this young man. By appearances, I will say he was about 20 years old. 20 years old. Yeah, it's horrifying. What, that age? Guy at age? Scared of out his wits, the young driver ran out of a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he's seen, he said to have turned his hair white overnight. As shown in the photograph you have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what's seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every details. about a killer who come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here in Madame Tussauds. I can quite understand why the man is hair to the white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Draper was doing in the first place. He's not lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. He was probably the gravekeeper. The gravekeeper is how you call it? Yes, what was he up to? Graveyard keeper. The following execution. He was Professor Axel threw London's upper class into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest level of society. And since the killer identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too, they told the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a typical ghost story, a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of. I was establishing fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? Police investigated the grave in Longgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where he had been following the execution. No, but that wouldn't mean that Mr. Draper must have lied to the police and the newspaper. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The old man subsequently vanished from society and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking then that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Draper had unusually white is what really had to happen overnight as a result of shock. I think that they put a substitute. Settled to believe the incident was an out and out lie. What a bleeding Nora! What are you going and done? Gina? What are you doing here? Whoa. Yes, Iris, she say this is where you be? Say? Sir? Yeah, don't shoot us. We are inside a museum! Also allowed in a museum. Madame Tussauds will have to take a position as a waxwork if you are not careful. And there might be a more pressing concern. I still ate some fleshy powder there from 6 months ago, so. Stop shooting! Alright, Gina, we understand, but please put down the gun. You're shooting the fucking... Sorry, I got scared. You'll try being the one at the other end of the barrel. So what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What you think? We found it! We found that dodgy Kirby's workshop. What? You found it? Draper's workshop? Oh, yep, Tommy's nose is good. Took me straight there. We're going straight there then. The most of the others are heading over there now. Drag some, come on. Here's the others. Got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make out there at once. Alright then, see you there. Are we done? They didn't call for Sholmes. You go, don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place. Syntax a bit over there. Oh dear, someone's feeling sorry for himself. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes! You are coming! It was sad of me, I must say. But if I were to share my duties here, Madame will have me pay monetary recompense, and Irish dinner plate will be empty once more. Forget that, I'll pay for everything! Then there's no moment to lose, my dear fellow! I shall hail the carriage at once! Not for to share the cost from Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mr. Sato. Right, let's go! Oh, that's the fake machine. The fake machine. A trophy? Interesting. That looks like... Oh! It's another super high voltage insider, the Kinesi machine. I'm strong. I knew we'll have here, so they'll only have prototype, naturally. You got everything. Gina, well done for finding this place in such a little time. You really work miracles? To be a what a miracles worker. Wow. Well, didn't it? So I thought you would not show up before long. Why are you closing your eyes? I thought you would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. What's on naked brow? Looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. Maybe vinegar? So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly not. Didn't find a soul in here. What a shame. Should we ambush him? Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us the chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. Would I want to say go to Paris with a dab of retinol and paid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you are hoping to snap around here, get cracking. Open today's kind of forensic investigation team are on their way, here as we speak. Them again. As you got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly, they're two lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellas, let's turn this place upside down. At least we have the chance. Now you Sholmes. Pardon? They take a unit less kind to great detectives than to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson. Very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find here. Hello, welcome back to Ace Attorney Chronicles. As you can see, I'm wearing my glasses. And it's also, as you can see my screen too. I'm straining my eyes a lot, so this is gonna be a weird episode. By the way, they are fake glasses, so don't worry. They're fake glasses, so don't worry. As you can see, you can see to screen with this. So I have a guide next to me, and I'm gonna use it in the moment of peril because I'm lazy. This is European style quiver rattles with steel bolts inside. I never hide it. Do you suppose? Crossbow bolts. These. Just the right size for the bow you lot turn up in the exhibition ground. In other words. Yep, there's more evidence to support your theory. And all goes to show that Dripper was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. There's so much noise outside. After the whole scan, the details of the crossbow has been added in the call record. There's a tree on this aeroplane. There's something there. What on earth is this? An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely into skies. Is how the trick will be described, is it? Sorry? Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but a very strong cable, isn't it? Oh, well, this model is, yes, but the real aeroplane will actually fly high in the sky. Suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal object obviously can really stay in the mid-air unsupported. So, to use the solution is taller towers. Imagine back in the days that they would build like a huge train, which just imagine like a train, you know, just suspended, but instead of a train, it's like an airplane. It appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed. Wouldn't you say? It's impressive looking back. Massager? That's what. Huh? You actually say massager? What the? It's impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. Huh? A trophy? No doubt that if you hit your shoulder a few times with that, your aches and pains will soon go away. If you say so. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science, as young scientists who wished for no higher honor. Ryunosuke, goddammit. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. A fine massage? I no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there is much more to this Mr. Anorak Rapper than conjuring tricks. Couldn't agree more, my dear madam. That's all about you, Mr. Naruhodo. Would you like to take it with you? The trophy? For you tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? I'll still take it. See if I can melt it and see what's actually made of. It's curious though, isn't it? You accept such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, no haphazardly cast aside. I agree with that. English judgment can be quite a mystery at times. Yeah. The science survey has been entered into court record. Thank you. What else do we analyze? There's so many things. This door doesn't want to open. This door doesn't want to open. Ah, another door, of course. They'll fill with doors in here and there. Anyway, yeah, it looks like it's pretty hefty lock on it. There's specially locksmith in his way over from our yard, so hands off until we get here. With permission, Inspector, I could have a lock open in less than a minute with my drop kick. Well, you don't have permission, so no one's giving it to you. Guess I'll look at that though, he really enjoyed that. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No rapper must have fled the first sign of danger. You think he's dead? In this locked room? Cause I smell dead character, yeah? Could it be? Could it be a dead character? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, that machine is covered by the special whatever. There will be zero precaution if you were examined from the crown and the government. They're doing it anyway! Well, those two doesn't seem to be holding back. It's probably fake. It's quite hot inside, no working parts of the device, or deception to be seen, my dear fellow. A little change drop on the floor, nothing, even a bit of Toby error, my dear fellow. What? Rich people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? These are just these two, Mr. Sato. Take the gun. Oh, is something wrong, Mr. Sato? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, you heard it too? Yeah, I heard it all. What do you reckon, Toby? Right, mind the grease. Where is there? Open up! There's a Scotland Yard. What? Squeak and clank? You wanna bash the boat open? Someone is in there! Ah, this rotten bleeding lock! My dear Gregson, as I say only a minute ago. If only it were countenanced, I could unlock the door in less than a minute. Go ahead. Fine, I'll take that. Just get through the blasted door. Just get through to the blasted door. Let's go! Aha! There you may enter. You confuse me. You confuse minutes with sex, I think. Time is of essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Vámonos, compadres. Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond the door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Take the gun. Bigger gun. Yes. I think he laughed anyway. Yeah. What the fuck is that? You Spiderman? You Spiderman on steroid. Anyway. There's an interesting scenario. Well, what happened here? There's a TNT bomb. Why is everything upside down? No one noticed the TNT? No? I'm the only asshole here? Restain on one yet, after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that I heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Dripper running away. Dripper? There's only one door in this room. Well, he will come out of there. And no windows that could afford an escape room. Those skylights are too high. Why there's prints? What's up there? Are there footprints on the ceiling? Below me, what have we here then? Everyone is ignoring the TNT! Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. No, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? To the Professor Harbin's balmy machine, is it? Blimey, if we had this, there have been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here too. A rope, of course, was lying on the floor at the foot of the pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. Let's see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo. We must investigate the entire room, truly, before the forensic investigation team arrive, too. Lovely. I see you noticed the TNT. Mr. Sholmes? Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let me see. I've never seen anything like this before. It's the great invention. Oh. It's a great invention of Mr. Saddle, what's the matter? That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? You say? A time bomb? TNT, I'm sorry, but... What is a time bomb, exactly? A time bomb, a bomb. You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take that as a compliment. Huh. You don't know nothing, do you? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though they confess it was very similar appearance. Okay, what the hell is that then? Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? Dynamite! I see, so that's it. That's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes? Have you seen the heart of the matter? There are times where I consider my lot most unfair. From my fate never to know how to feels to flounder as you when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardship that comes with being a great detective, Mr. Sutton. Here we go, I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene. We see before us, the first, is that the inverted nature of all the furniture in this room is the work of Rapper himself. Yeah, it makes sense. How about how cold you? And the second conclusion is that small device of law there is without question completely genuine. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. He was trying to blow up the room. It'll be a pleasure. After all, a great detective's duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Well, Inspector Gregor seemed delighted with the idea anyway. You deflected the expected glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done! Well done. You are too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mrs. Sutton. Oh, yes. I'll be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Hello Show is proud to present this Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Flipped furniture. I flipped them. It was plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down the floor. That is actually interesting. I didn't thought it, but it makes sense. Every time the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that? Indeed, the key here. I noticed the key here is gravity. That is actually very cool. It appears that technology has allowed us to succeed in freeing us from a great pool of dirt. But the gravity is so room reversed, and then restored. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity playing its own business. It's quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction is my analysis was cemented when I observed this. The anti-gravity device almost led the one feature dream of my only other day, in fact. What? But why does it have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. This timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. Okay, this is absurd. It was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred? Really? Yes, the reason why everything is here has been turned upside down because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. Direction which gravity acts here were reversed by Mr. Draper. Before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion, count them later by the time of the I'm sorry, it's so confusing, so many things going around. I have witnessed precisely this scene, a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. The gravity thing was a nice theory, by the way. Although I don't think it was gravity, I think it was an engineer thing. It was just flipped. Now let us consider the next conundrum, but it's a little bit absurd. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his action is above our heads. Yes, how it is possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because the nearby skylight. Of course, the rubber aim was singular to escape, makes sense. However, it's but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. We don't know for sure, but yeah. By inverting gravity in here, the rubber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling. And makes the escape yet otherwise an accessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. It's a bit absurd, but the ceiling here is very high, Mr. Schultz. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. River have fallen off the ceiling rather violently? I agree with that. Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically rather interesting concept. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run to escape through the skylight was his only option. Did you find a rope? You may recall that he found this room earlier, which I believe offered a solution. The rope, yeah. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Wait, what? There's a problem with the rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Could you explain how the rebel was able to escape his room before our arrival? He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again, now just for fun. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, I think he was flipping everything because he was looking for the code for the save. Thus concludes Harlow shows great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. But I don't understand how he managed to flip the wardrobe. And I understand the bed. Well, wow, that's a lot of strength to flip this. She's completely spellbound. Great theory, Mr. Jones. There is just one thing that troubles me. I will expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such thing actually possible? The anti-gravity device, I mean. If he invented it, he will be filthy rich. Don't get me wrong, it's just there was no point to be a scammer or a swindler, whatever. I will say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, is no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. But my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be true. I hope you use it to, like, not as this case, okay? However improbable it may seem. Nah. It's marvelous line, would you agree? One of my enduring pearls of wisdom. You say so? Had I come out with exact phrasing, my original was clumsy. Yeah, I have a feeling I've read it something that Mr. Sutherland means.
Objection!
Actually, there is one more other thing, Mr. Jones. The spell broke into the list. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed, it was in Lonely College near the wall. But if Mr. Draper had used it to escape in the way you described, would it still be tied to the wall? Mysterious mystery inevitably unraveled in that. I think you will find the ropes. The most interesting part is the footprints there. The evidence of such need only to look at the mystery defacing this room was skillfully unraveled. And I'll go in circular as coils of rope, because it's not something you can easily do, right? Like, definitely somebody stumbled on that. The perhaps we might need to give Mr. Shum the usual little help in hand. Sure, with more some minor corrections, your great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Rupper gets too far away. Okie dokie, if you're ready then let us resume. Wait. Wow. Don't you have coppers surrounding the building? I'm sorry, I'm just confused. Oh, if it takes too much... He's definitely gone. Hello, shows logic and reasoning spectacular. At this point, I'm just saying. Anyway, what a mess. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Speed. This one's very nice. So, to think gravity could have been reversed in this very room, found the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sean could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're right. You must completely discount the idea at once. Oh. I should have said so. That's unusually merciless of you, Mr. Sutton. You have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself says so, didn't he? Well, everything apart with his dreams of anti-gravity device. Yes, I suppose. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little bit more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Oh, this is sealed. That's it? Hard to tell. Is this inverted? It's hard to tell. No, is it? Is it not? Okay, we have a lot of inverted furniture. The only thing that is not inverted is the safe. Notice, Mr. Sato? Everything seems to be upside down here. The safe is conspicuously the right way up. Have you noticed it? Yes, that's true. But it's bolted, so... But look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah! There's a lot of... large bolt fixing to the floor. I apologize. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? Rebuild my foot in my mouth. Said I didn't say that. Is that the thing? I guess. I only see that thing.
Take that!
No, it's not so safe. Ah, take damage. Andrea, take damage. Actually, I'm not sure. The reveals the great saying what grass you can prove it in court. To prove the hypothesis is wrong. This way is just to find the obvious exception. Let's have another good look around. I actually don't know. The TNT? Oh, the vase. The upright vase.
Take that!
Really, the vase? Should I be smashed? That upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on his head. Try to impress your assistant here, perhaps. No one else is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Shone. Trust me. As you rightly say, though, it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. It shows, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was not reverted at all! Disappointment! My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Sholmes. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deduction. So that is just regular ass TNT. Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. This is a regular ass bomb. Someone deliberately turn over to every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leave one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Why? Then naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything here is being turned upside down is the anti-gravity device. It's absolutely determined that this device must be something to do with it, isn't it? I'm afraid a lot of exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Yes, it's too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes in mind at all, though. Well, let us look around and see if the answer presents itself.
Take that!
It was quite honest. Yes, the reason why everything is here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. You really, like, this guy actually turned upside down the wardrobe. Interesting. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, it's taken him a while to think was the coach, whatever thing. Well, what you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket, I noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart, I'd always make a written note with important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe will be more sensible, I think. And what pray happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I forgot which book I'd written the number in. Had turned my room upside down to find it. That's it. For people who forgetful souls at heart, they always forget where they noted things down. Not if you always know things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I slipped ticket into. Thank you, Mr. O. Valuably approved by point. Well, shame. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded this room. Not yourself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed a combination code. He remembered that he written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drab overturned all furniture in here. In a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that will unlock the safe. So did he manage to actually get it? Or we can still examine this. Now let's ask continue the next commander. What was our engineer friends? Friends, eh? Friends? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have explained is actions above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there's footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. Oh, the reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Well, if I change the direction of gravity, can I explain if then how did those footprints get there? Well, as I thought, a particularly mystery has just become even harder to solve. Yeah, can't think any other way to explain it at all. I was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. All that minutes ago, in those halcyon days never existed in the first place. Halcyon? I don't know. But I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into this situation in the first place. What the hell is this? Well, there's a shoe up there. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look! Oh yes, and there are more footprints in this little balloon too. Okay, this is very confusing. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became large, do you think? And if so, then, judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up to a ceiling there? Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid. Is there something on the balloon? Okay, it's definitely because of the shoes, right? The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And of course this pattern, there is clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never to skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? Was trying to tear it down? Or a balloon? That seems somewhat familiar, eh? It was a piece of the green balloon envelope that Mr. Maduaris found at the sea. Inside the green balloon, Master Glutz claims to be so above the stage where things have occurred. The second birdcage, the crux, the whole instantaneous connects with this. You mean to say, yeah? If we assume the balloon in there is a model to unused of the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Probably our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making us to get away. Oh, but the balloon is out of reach. And so why resorted to a projectile, namely the ship? Ah, was probably grappling intended to tear a hole in the envelope by sailing it with his shoe. However, his effort were thwarted, but the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. Indeed. If only there were some way to see inside. We have bolts, right? You may recall that I found this is a room earlier which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? This room has managed to bring a deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit that was clever. So we just throw the rope up the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground? It's possible, but I think it would be easy. Which is much easier said than done, I feel. It could take us a very long time as well. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? The bolts. Can we say that it's a screwdriver? Wait, what? Crossbow?
Take that!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at sea, in fact. In all likelihood belongs to Mr. Draper. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. Well, can you just try to throw the bolt? It's not that far away, right? You have enough strength as a man to throw it. So shall we? He still has the bolts, I mean. Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is Enoch Trapper has hidden inside the balloon? Dad? What the? A waxwork? The head of the professor? Indeed it is a waxwork. Inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quiet, impenetrable lock. You can't even see the face inside, that means... Just a moment. This is the head of the waxworm model. That's the mean. Oh, goodness! Why he has it? I see you joined the dots, Miss Usato. Excellent. Of course, the headless waxworm model. A case of about Madame Spell's model that you largely sold. It was only the head of the kill that was still missing. Indeed it was, but I believe Madame Spells will now have to settle her sizable account with me. Wait more. This, as you have now summarized, is the head of the infamous professor. Yeah, but why is he here? He was the kidnapper? This conclusively confirms my suspicion. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Spells and returning it to Sans Tete? Early today was none other than Enoch Draper. This is incredible. Professor Habron case and the Waxworm abduction are inextricably linked by Enoch Draper workshop. So we come back to the first theory. So the guy that stole it used a fake version of Asman, so a waxworked Asman, to make it look like he was there. Well, it appears our logic pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is to speak with the architect of this adventure. Yeah, I think he's hiding. Oh, it's probably hiding somewhere in the room. Or there's a secret door, or a secret passage. The architect. You mean Mr. Draper? As it seems quite possible that he escaped via one of the skylight. Obviously the main must still be. What? And his location will be abundantly clear. You simply reflect on the journey we made together doing this deduction. And whatever is right somewhere in this room. The border? So Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. No, you cannot be serious. It must be the same, guys. Because he was so desperately looking for the same.
That!
Yeah. Before we went access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Squeak and clunk, which tell us the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination of his safe. If only he didn't look for the combination of his safe. And perhaps for the time made no attempt to ride the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which he can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Draper. Isn't that very moment inside the safe? Let's conclude Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the topsy-turvy puzzle. Clunk clunk. I wish they knocked him to say on the safe. Like, you know, just to mess with him. Clunk clunk. So, Mr. Naruto, I think perhaps it's time we end this game of hide and seek, don't you? Opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 43258. No. I knew that. Alright, then here it goes. Have a gun, have a gun. Hello there. Comfortable? You found me. Yeah. Yeah. The only part was missing the music, probably. Right answer, Mr. Enoch Draper, I presume. Correct. Better stop talking, you trick Professor Hammer with the buckets machine you built. I was so angry. And you shall have to explain the path of the boxword from mana to spell as well. Yes, I will be delighted to answer your many questions. I personally would like to advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Parcel? Deactivate? Your parcel. I refer to course to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Wait, you think we will survive inside the box? Blowing everything out? I see. Stunned silence. You'll gear you up to die with me then. No! Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare. I was too close for comfort. I got one foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? Mr. Holmes' deduction can be completely life-altering, can't they? It was actually activated? Well, my dear fellas, it was a close shave. The resemblance of an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Anti-gravity device don't exist! Ew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Scholz. So it was actually a bomb active. Couldn't hear any ticking, so I was like, oh, it's probably just a way to scare us off. What on earth happened here? You find me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a true going over, don't you worry, Grubba. Greta? What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop that I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that will have been. For some reason, I woke in a fine fettle today. No words, just silently squeezed cheeks. Clearly I must have screwed loose, though as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I've written it down. I also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I turned up searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the hat from the balloon among the rafters. After that, you hide yourself inside the safe. You needed to... Why you needed a hat? Boxing first had these parts of chicken. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Nailed. But at that which have you, hiding right beside a ticking time bomb? Please, what do you suppose that you start inside a safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A diamond explosion would not leave a scratch on it. No, so in fact, the safe was the only safe place. I guess, precisely. But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have to be able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to unlock from within. Ah, so it is. I always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just was expecting anybody else to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? Yes. No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah, I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But you seemingly endlessly discoursing here threw up spanner into words. What? Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides our usual eye, ears, nose and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently. Professor has been instantaneous kinetic experiments at the Great Exhibition, and the Waxwork model you stole, which his head belongs to. That's not ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Yeah, we got it. Glad in a mask. Our lock so strong. I'm unable to open it. Safely to reveal the killer's identity. Assuming the task pals knew the killer identity? I mean... Wait, what? What was that? 913, sorry. This looks are unable to open it and being considered carried around as a protection after all. Interesting. Interesting. What's going on, Gregson? I'm sure you are aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, to decide again. It's the forensic investigation team out here. You know full well this engineer is the key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If you have stronger news of this, you'll be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such threatening tone, actually. After all, there's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Sighty? Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, knows Dr. Sighty? If it is protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you're quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a sham. You get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. See, you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo, yes? It will appear that our delightful, entertaining investigation have run their course for the day. But Mr. Sholmes! Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. The mystery doesn't unfold. I say get out. Now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we never have found this place, and the whole workshop have been blown to bits. There was a time while sitting here. It is not disarmed. Inspector? Something giving you a chuckle? Has it, Dripper? So sorry, didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did design that one. Eh? What are you? That one? You mean... Is that another one? Oh. Why wanted to blow this one up? It was an hour later that we heard the news. One enormous explosion that tripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Whereas Professor Harber's invention and the holy secret were blown away forever. Oh, so the machine was hiding more clues about what actually happened. So he decided to blow it up because of the act being annulled. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, this is the end of the episode. Oh, wow, so many things going around. I should have not played when I was so tired. Hope you enjoy, hope you leave a like, and I hope you enjoy my glasses too, and fake glasses I like to call it, and have a lovely day, and good lovely bye.